JDM is back at it, here to give everyone another Ozark Season 4 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Ozark, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further, simply to avoid any potential spoilers. This will be Ozark Season 4, Episode 5. The title of this episode is called Ellie. This will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode last evening. We find out that Mel, who is the guy that wants Helen's signature, dead or alive, is an addict of some sorts, or used to be an addict. He was a detective or maybe an agent, and he got busted by another officer sniffing something while on the job. He was in the evidence locker sniffing, and they caught him. And now we don't know why he's in the scenario that he's in, but that probably led to it. Charlotte is taking her SAT, and she decides to get up and leave, ripping the SAT up and throwing it in the trash. Ruth actually helps the birds cut a new deal. Darlene apologizes to Frank Jr. for what she did to him, and that was blowing off his dick in the Season 3 finale, which I'm not sure exactly how he survived, because that would have been some major blood loss. I mean, if you shoot something like that down there, I mean, how does that get repaired? I mean, I know medical people can do a lot of things, but I don't know. Jonah tells his family that Darlene is the one that put up all the missing signs for Ben. Marty asks Charlotte to talk with Wyatt and see if he can talk to Darlene about taking the signs down. Mel stops by the bird's house again looking for Helen. He thinks Ben may have killed her. He says he didn't really care, or he doesn't really care. He just wants to find her dead or alive, like I had mentioned, and he won't say anything if he finds her dead. He just needs to know. The Illinois senator, played by Bruce Davidson, needs a favor from Wendy to join in on everything, like the Bird Foundation, and Wyatt ends up meeting with Charlotte. She asks him for a big favor. Ruth and Marty stop by Buddy's mausoleum. Wendy goes to the acting sheriff to file a missing persons report for Ben, finally, even though we know he's not really missing. Although I still think Ben's alive because we didn't actually see his dead body. And I feel like that, Nelson had that conversation with that therapist about he didn't like killing people that didn't really deserve it, and then Ben randomly dies and we don't see the body. I don't know, something about that. Mel goes to the hotel and talks with Sam, finds out Jonah handles the books for the hotel. Frank Jr. apologizes for roughing up Ruth, and kind of a touching scene, actually. Wendy tells Marty what she's found out about Mel, how he doesn't give up and he just keeps going. And he'll stop at nothing to find the information out that he needs. And Jonah tells Darlene that that Marty got rid of the sheriff's body at the crematorium. The Illinois Republican senator agrees to join the board because Wendy was able to get him a file that he needed, although she's a little confused on why he wanted that file. She thinks it's a much bigger picture. Darlene goes to the bird's place. Darlene actually gets scared of Wendy. Wendy had this crazy Walter White moment where she was evil as hell, and all of a sudden Darlene backs up, holds her heart, and we assume she's having a heart attack, and she tells Wendy to call 911, and Wendy pulls her phone out there and just sits down on the ground and watches her. And then the episode ends with, like I said, Darlene possibly having a heart attack. And she's telling Wendy to fucking call an ambulance. Or I guess ambulance, not 911. So that's the end of the episode. Pretty interesting stuff in this episode. I actually liked it a lot. I think we're going to get a lot more from Mel. And he's going to be a very important character all through this season, I think. So we're just getting little flashes of him here and there. And I think he's going to play a big part in the end of Ozark, possibly. So, as far as a score in this episode, I'm going to give it a 9.1 out of 10. And the character of the episode, just for how evil she seemed at a certain point, I'm going to give it to Wendy Bird, as she was pretty awesome. Even though I don't really like her character, Laura Linney does an amazing job with her particular character. So you've heard what I've had to say. Now it's your turn if you're a fan of Ozark, or if you're a fan of anything that JDev TV does, or just to help me out with that YouTube algorithm that's so tough. Go ahead and smash that like button. If you know anybody that likes Ozark and would be interested in these, or if you want to share this across any of your social media platforms, please do so. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about your thoughts on this episode of Ozark. What do you like about it? Whom would be your character of the episode? And if you had to score it, what would you score it? I gave it a 9.1. And of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. I'm always trying to grow the channel, but of course I need your help to do so. Join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.